and love, family. Peace and love. It's your boy Chris Enlightened coming back again with some more spiritual vittles. And today I'm going in on spiritual duality. Woo! This is a good one, family. This is the heat that you've been waiting on, family. Because a lot of humans aren't aware of spiritual duality. We know about duality in life and everything like that. But how many of you are aware of spiritual duality? There's duality between yourself and the spirit realm. Period. Everything you do corresponds to an action on the spiritual side, and vice versa. Who you are spiritually affects who you are physically. You must know that. You must learn to create a bridge between the two. You can't just be out here mindlessly walking and living in your physical form and not being aware of what's going on spiritually with yourself. You must focus on both. You want to be living your life day to day, working, whatever it is you're doing, but you always want to set some time out for your spiritual practices and things like that. Because when you grow spiritually, it affects you on a physical level. When you do things physically, it affects you on a spiritual level. Just like your ancestors are living, there's duality in that as well. You have ancestors that are dead, that have transitions. You never really truly die. It's just a continuation of consciousness, or your second birth, or your 50,000th birth, depending on how many times you incarnated. But just like you go to your family's parties, birthdays, and things like that, you need to take care of your family members on the other side as well. That's spiritual duality. That's the real essence of life. When you're consciously aware that you're living and you're a spiritual being as well. You know, I was reading this book called The Human Body of Light, and it talks about how we're multidimensional beings and how we live on multiple facets of reality simultaneously. And then how there's an aspect of ourselves that never enters our body, but always governs what's going on within our physical realm. It's kind of like you're your own creator, watching yourself, trying to implore yourself to do good and be all that you can be in this reality. And that's real. You know, sometimes people think that that's God talking to them. Most of the time it's you. Most of the time it's you. But if you're not aware of your spiritual duality, you think it's another force outside of yourself helping you when it's you all alone. We have a creator that creates, but he's not intervening in our lives like that, family. He gave us everything that we needed in this reality to win. Once you realize and really ingest the fact that we're living in a complex, illusionary simulation, once you realize that, you start thinking of ways to manipulate your reality to win for yourself. Of course, you were born into this reality. So it feels real. It feels like this is all that is because this is all that you know. When we spiral into this universe, we drink a potion called Leth, and it makes us forget our past lives. Some of us, like the Dalai Lama, somehow they're able to remember their past lives. They're able to accurately talk about what they were doing in their past lives. And there's other people out there as well that have that ability to reach that level of enlightenment. They may have been meditating in temples for countless numbers of years, so when they incarnate into this reality, their subconscious mind still has all that force bellowing within them to allow them to remember those things. But whether you remember or not consciously, your subconscious still remembers those things. But when you don't have spiritual duality, when you don't believe that you exist on multi-levels of reality, you don't even think that, oh, that's just a thought. You don't even think like that. But back to what I was saying about the human body of light, we exist on multiple dimensions of reality at all times. And in the fourth dimension, that's where our light body is at. That's where we get a lot of our energy from, our fourth dimensional selves. And it's just a body of light. And on each dimension, you kind of look like yourself. You know, your spirit is who you are. It may not physically look like you to the T, but when you see yourself, you'll know that, oh, that's me, you know? But anyway, your aura is a small glimpse of your light body. That's the only remnants of your light body in this third dimensional reality that we have. So if you ever go out and take an aura picture, you can kind of see who you are in the other realm. Me and my wife, we went to the latest psychic fair over here in Cincinnati, Ohio, called the Victory of Light. We go every year. Every year, we always win something. I won a door prize this year. I won a free reading, and she was pretty much on point. I think my wife was. I know my wife would have done a lot of better, but I won a free door prize. I just wanted to see what was out there. Every year, we win something. Out of the thousands and tens of thousands of people that go, we have an uncanny ability of winning something every year. And that's just not by chance, family. But anyway, when we went to the Victory of Light, instead of taking single aura pictures, we took a dual aura pictures. And what we did was we hugged each other, we took our picture. And the first thing the guy said was, wow. Wow. And he seen this like pinkish red like rainbow around us. And he was like, you guys have a lot of love. You guys spend lifetimes together. He didn't know us. We didn't say anything to the guy. He was saying that you guys have been together for a long time in this reality, and you spent countless lifetimes together. And there were little orbs was in our picture too. And he was saying, you see these orbs of consciousness within this picture? And I was like, yeah, I do see them. And he went in depth on what that was and what that meant. But he shook both of our hands. He just told us that he had never seen a picture filled with so much love before. And I was just like, wow. I mean, we've always felt it. People see it. And when you see us together, if you choose to invest in us and meet us, you'll see it as well. But anyway, back to duality of consciousness, or duality of spirituality. We need to be aware. Once you're aware and you're walking down the street, you'll notice all the signs. The best way that I found that worked for me and my family and all my spiritual dream team friends is learning a divination. A lot of people are stuck on what they should do to expound on their spiritual gifts. Regardless of how the planet was aligned, how the stars were aligned, what nodes you were born in and all that stuff, you could always work harder than the next man to advance spiritually. That's just like when you're born into this reality, you have your astrology and things like that. That's how you get all your native gifts. That's how you find your path and things like that. So what I do is use numerology tied with Chinese astrology, my knowledge of astrology, colors, deities, tarot. I get an amalgamation of all those things, and I'm able to discern and kind of get a cheat code on my reality. So every time I see some numbers, I don't care if it's on TV, my watch, whatever, gas pump, receipt from buying food, I add that up. Like your phone number. When you add up the numbers to your phone number, whatever the single digit is, after you add up all those numbers, you get a finite number, and that number will let you know what type of conversations you'll be having on that call, on your phone. Period. Your house number. It'll let you know the energy of the house that you're in. We've lived at houses where we were just having parties, chaos, and just craziness. And we added up the numbers when we thought back once we gained the knowledge of divination. We realized, oh, that's why that was the party house. Oh, that's why we got enlightened there. Because our house number added up to 7. All these things matter. Spirituality matters. Duality matters. You matter. So once you're aware of your spiritual duality, your reality tends to blossom like a flower. You start noticing things and seeing things that you didn't even know existed. One thing that I did, I've done a whole bunch of things once I started to grow spiritually. But one thing I did was go back and rewatch movies. Movies that I thought was deep, I rewatched them with my new vision, and I was able to see even deeper within the movie and get a whole new understanding of the movie. Sometimes when I'm meditating, I go back and sit and think about my past relationships with girls and friends. And I would try to extract, what did I learn, or what was I trying to tell myself? Why did I choose to go with this person? Why did I choose to spend my time with this person? When you do things like that, you're able to get a cheat code on who you are to this day. Because no matter what it is you're doing today, the previous day before, in your astral dream self, you planned it out. So once you're aware of your spiritual duality, you can start to manipulate the tapestry of your reality, family. So I really want you to focus on helping out yourself, meditating more, taking in more sunlight, taking care of your ancestors. You can only go so far with the human mind. You can only do so much with human effort. Tether your consciousness up with the higher divine forces that would help you. This is the medicine Buddha. It's a great healing divine being. This is Quan Ku. He's a spiritual warrior. He's great with business. He's a master martial artist. These were both human beings at one time, but they've advanced their consciousness and they ascended to higher realms of reality. And that's what I'm aspiring to do. I want more. When you realize that there's more, you open up the doorway and the pathway and the window and a bridge to receive more. But if you believe and you invest and you fight for your limitations, the universe is going to correspond to your beliefs and your actions and your feelings. Okay? Stop fighting for your limitations. Know that you're a God and start winning. Okay, family? So on that note, it's your boy Chris Enlightened. I hope you got some spiritual vittles from this video. I can be reached at my email, thechrisenlightened@gmail.com. Reach out to me for consultations, whatever you need. I'm here for you. So on that note, peace and love, family. Winning!